hours, 10 to 2. Yeah. Was supposed to be interpreting 3 high school classes.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't figure out how to get me into what we were Google Meet.
Mm.
I had a meeting yesterday and it was fine. I mean, it was a little sketcy, but then I finally was able to get in. And they couldn't figure out the right link. And then finally I got in and
class was over.
No, the student left. No, I finally got into this one because this morning I'm like, okay, so the next period, please start working on that because this one didn't work. That didn't work. So I'm like, okay, so work on the last period now so that it, like this poor student is getting nothing.
Aw.
And then the last one, of course, was the math class, which I'm like, really? You had to get me into that one? Like, whoa, whoops, can't stand it, whatever. So got in, and then they were only there for like not even 10 minutes. So whatever.
What happened?
So did you go shopping?
Yes.
Did you do a show and tell yesterday that I missed?
No, we talked about birds and dogs yesterday.
Oh,
we did. Oh, and I left that. I found that photo of myself with my dog, and I left it on my table. I'll go get it.
Okay. Well, Rosaline's out at happy hour tonight with her colleagues. She just texted me. So
well, then I'll save it for when she shows up. Good for her. Jesus.
Yeah, she said the first one, and however long. So
wow. I hope she doesn't overdo it.
Oh, or we hope she does. One of the two.
Right.
Well, I just got 2 bottles of Roots Marionberry and cherry vodka.
Ooh, I've never had the cherry.
I haven't either. I haven't even seen it, but I got it yesterday. And because I was going to take 1 bottle down to Abby for her 21st birthday. And then I was like, oh, but would she like cherry or, I better get both of them. So I did.
The Marionberry is
really good.
I think
I've had that.
Something else. I like the Marionberry with a splash of vodka and sparkling water and a little bit of lemon.
Wait, are these from the vodka distillery? Yeah. Sorry,
those are the only ones that I've tried. I've had the Marionberry and the pear, and both of them are very good. I was afraid of the cherry because I was afraid it might lean towards cough syrup.
Yeah. We went into the tasting place. We got, well, it's not tasting, but you can buy like a flight of shots if you go to the distillery or, the storefront. So that's what, Kate will laugh hearing me say this. She picked me up at the airport in Portland and I was like, we have to go to that distillery. And so before we went anywhere, we'd suitcases still in the car. We stopped at the distillery and got 1 or 2 flights of I can't remember if a flight was 3 and we got 2 or whatever, but yeah, we got this little flights of, so I've tried them all. And I have to say the cherry was, it was not cough syrupy so much as just pretty sweet for me. I don't know. Have you tried it, Mary?
No, I hadn't even seen it. I've had the pear one at Kate's, and then I've had the Marionberry one, but
yeah,
I hadn't tried the cherry one or even seen it. So, and I figure if I don't like it, it doesn't matter because I'll just leave it with her. And
that sounds like a college thing anyway.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that kind of sounds like something you'd be mixing a Singapore sling. Do you remember Singapore slings?
Oh God. I remember the slat on the side of my friend's car that Barbie Ashley just spewed it all. I have a memory of a Singapore. Yeah.
Wow, I just walked in right at the right moment here.
Did. You know what that kind of reminds me of is Southern Comfort. Do you guys remember that?
Oh God. Everybody has a bad Southern Comfort story, yeah.
It is the worst. Yeah.
Bad name.
But once you start yeah, so what does the Southern Comfort have in it? It's like ginger ale, grenadine and maybe vodka or gin.
Well, I mean, there's the Southern Comfort liquor itself.
No,
which-
Singapore Sling. Sorry, Singapore
Oh,
Sling.
Singapore Sling. That's
Something
Yeah,
that
Southern
makes it
Comfort
really
is just
red.
like out of the bottle.
yeah. And it's a night. I'm trying to think of exactly who the fuck came up with that. Because it was popular when I was in high school and I could never figure out why.
Probably because it
gin,
doesn't taste like
gin,
alcohol.
cherry flavored brandy, triple sect, Benedictine, grenadine. Oh my
Ugh.
God, what is this? What is this
Ew,
drink?
red dye number awful and sugar.
Well, this makes me want to throw up just looking at it. Maple
But that's
bacon
high school
Manhattan,
though.
2
Anything that
ounces of
doesn't
Southern
taste like
Comfort
alcohol.
sweet vermouth. It's totally a New Orleans
Wait,
style.
read
right?
yours. A Southern Comfort cocktail.
A Southern Comfort cocktail, maple bacon Manhattan. You'll need 2 ounces of Southern Comfort 100. Oh, 1 ounce of sweet vermouth, 2 dashes of Peychaud's bitters, 1/4 ounce of maple syrup, and 1 to 2 slices of cooked bacon for garnish.
Ew.
It looks like that. Doesn't that just make you want to throw
Probably
up?
like minus the bacon, it's probably like an old fashioned.
I know. It
It's-
sounds like an old fashioned bacon in it.
Oh God, help
Maybe that's
us
what makes
all.
the old Southern
Terrible idea.
Comfort
Yeah,
bacon.
that was one of my favorite, or not favorite, famous. That was one of my very famous puke experiences.
On that drink.
No, on Southern Comfort.
On
Not-
Southern Comfort.
Maple bacon. I'd never heard of that before. Yeah, I just remember drinking it and I'm thinking this is the worst tasting stuff I've ever had in my life and promptly puking it up and then going about my business.
Going back into the high school dance, right?
Probably.
Mary.
It's kind of
I
true.
don't know, just
Uh,
saying.
I did not drink very much alcohol when I was in college because of the run-ins that I had at high school parties.
Mm.
I realized that it just didn't sit very well with me, that I wasn't I wasn't a good liquor drinker at all. And I'm still not. I'm a wuss. I'll take a bong hit anytime.
Long hit any time.
Hey, Astrid, what's happened today? How's the day?
Mom came home.
Oh, wow.
She walked up the stairs by herself and was actually quite confident in the whole thing. Like she was.
Wow.
I'm really shocked how well she got up the stairs, and then proceeded to not do like the big how amazing or how terrible. Like there was no overwhelm. It was more like she just went straight in and like with laser-like focus checked her little hallway cupboard, and then went into the bedroom and opened a drawer and like was making sure that like certain things hadn't got moved basically before she stepped back and said, wow, it looks really different, doesn't it? Like, yes. it
How
does.
much of a warning had you given her?
I mean, quite an extensive one. I mean, by this point, right? Like I've been
Yeah,
here
she's
2
been
years.
very involved in some of the decisions
been-
and stuff. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
heard those conversations, Mary,
No.
but
Yeah, Mary.
yeah.
No, she's actually, once she realized I was, not only was I coming, but I'd made those arrangements weeks before it became apparent to her that maybe that was a good idea. So she's become very involved and has actually helped direct things from her hospital bed. Being very,
Wow.
saying, oh no, those things can all go, and no, over here there's some stuff that I may still want, and I'll look for a measuring tape or whatever, and she'd say, oh, that's in the bottom drawer of the yellow cupboard or whatever, and she knows exactly where things are. It was quite hilarious.
Wow.
So do you think,
Very
Did you get much resistance to?
Well, I mean, she couldn't really do anything, right? So, I mean, what I've said, she had this notion, you have to appreciate Mary. I don't know if you've seen the pictures from the attic, but I mean, there are basically boxes upon boxes upon boxes that are filled with newsprint, and which is
And
bundled.
I saw your car completely filled with the bags of.
Yeah, and then they're in these moving boxes that are taped shut. So you actually have to open every single fucking box, look inside, make sure it's in fact just newspapers. But no, for extra credit, many boxes are layered. So there's newspaper, and then there's actually interesting stuff on top that she may well want to have a final look at or whatever. So yours truly is unpacking every fucking box and repacking it before it goes into the car.
Oh my.
There's and whenever there is a box, but we have this handy little guide. Most archaeologists would kill for a handy little book that tells you exactly what's in the grave chamber. I have that book, and it tells you because every box has a code, the letter N and numeral 7, and you look it up in the book, and
No.
Yes.
it says newspapers, Astrid's books, whatever. So then I slice open N7, and sure enough, there's newspapers, there's books, there's some of my stuff.
That's amazing. That really is.
Uh-huh.
So do you?
You were saying
feel-
your mom was that kind of organized mover too. Yeah, Dana. I mean, this is slightly
Oh, yeah.
different, but like the checklist and the,
Yeah.
you know.
But I mean, we had the giant, Mayflower, American Allied moving vans that would pull up in front of our house. The guys that would come in, and the packers would come, and then the movers would come, so they put everything in boxes, and we could go, that was our job as kids, to go through our stuff in our rooms and then to write on the boxes. You'd have Dana's bedroom, Doug's bedroom, kitchen. Yeah. For fuck's sake, Frankie really didn't have, when I think back on it, I feel really bad for her, because that is not an easy existence to live, like an army officer's wife. She had the fucking, my dad had one shit job and she had another shit job, and we were just along for the ride.
Yeah.
I bet you're not moving with, or she wasn't moving with bank statements that were 50 years old though.
No, she was the queen of throwing shit away.
No, my mom is the exact opposite.
Yeah.
She's the queen of keeping shit a long time.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like her response was, when you brought her in, was probably the best that you could hope for.
Yes.
Because you didn't expect that she was going to praise you for your work.
No. No. The one thing I'm very certain of is there will be no praise or gratitude expended in my direction.
But
Oh my God, that does
that
not
end-
seem very German anyway. I cannot imagine an older German woman praising you for fucking with her shit.
No, not gonna happen, not in this lifetime.
No, but honestly, that sounds like a really positive reaction. I'm very
Yeah.
I was actually,
Yeah.
and she's sort of like, I have so much to do, just making the place mine again. I'm like, as long as
bless
we're
her
not
heart.
talking.
Making the place mine again.
I'm like, luckily, I don't think you have another 20 years in you, so I
Yeah.
think you'll be okay.
Well, I guess I was thinking about like if she, has a full closet full of tissues, that she starts doing the tissue thing again.
What did she say about the bathroom?
She was gobsmacked, I think is the word we're looking for.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good. It's got to make you feel better. Because, at least she's going to be able to,
Yeah. I mean, just
clean in a clean
amazing.
bathroom.
Hey, listen, I'm praising myself plentifully, and I'm getting a lot of accolades from everybody else, not my mother. Nothing new there in the last 50 years. But no, it feels good to know that I have done the right thing. I will say that for sure.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing, that that you did.
Yeah.
You did
Yeah.
the right
And you can leave
thing.
there knowing that she's a lot safer and probably psychologically more at peace being in that space
I
than
think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
what
no.
you were thinking of her going into
It's
another.
funny though, right? Because it was kind of hilarious, and I tried to capture some of it on video. Her muscle memory of the place is entirely predicated on there being these, 3-foot
Piles
high
of stuff, yeah.
mountains, on top of which is the one thing, like whatever, the nail file or whatever that she knows is right here, and you would see her like groping in the air and going, it's just not where I'm expecting things to be. I'm like, yeah,
Right.
because it's missing the 3-foot mountain
Right.
I was sitting on.
Yeah.
And so there was some little thing, like she opened up the hallway cupboard and because I said, I put in some laundry. I said, will you hang it up? And she goes, yeah, I'll just, if you put up the little laundry drying rack thing for me. And then she went to the cupboard in the hallway again, and she goes, oh, and it's actually here where I'm looking. And what is it, Mom? Whatever. It's like the special little rag that she uses to wipe off the laundry drying rack thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I had left it inadvertently, I guess. I had left one thing in the
Dare
place
you.
where she was
In the
expecting it.
proper place.
No. So it was actually a little happy moment for her that one of the things that she likes to use had been left in its place.
You know what I wonder is all of the work that you did, and you're bringing her home, and she's going to be going through chemo, so we know she's going to be a little foggy at times. And I mean, maybe what you did is going to kind of keep her brain really active and zippy, because she's got to think
Looking
about
for
these
this.
things. You've given her
Yeah,
something
she'll
to
be
think
zippy.
about.
I'll hear about it too. She opened one of her cupboards that I had not touched. All I'd done is I put some things in. I'm like, I'm not dealing with the inside of the cupboards if I don't. I mean, I did some because the bathroom cabinets had 50 tubes of whatever that were empty. But this one particular I had not touched, and she looks in and she goes, "Oh, so you turned those things around?" I'm like, "No, Mom, I didn't touch it. I really did not. I put a pencil in here, but that's it. I did not." Really? Are you sure? I'm like, oh no. Is that how it's gonna be? She's gonna she's
Right.
gonna be she's gonna blame
That's
me.
what you're noticing?
That's what you're noticing? And also I
She's
didn't
gonna blame you for not doing that cabinet. What?
I'm like, no.
Wow.
And-
Well, the good thing
Interesting.
is you knew what to expect from her. So there wasn't this grand expectation that there would be huge change on her end, and
Oh no.
she complied.
No, she's performing to type, as am I. So it's the happy detente.
When do
So-
you come back?
Great.
Yeah. I
Thursday.
was going to say, what do you have planned
Next week.
for now that she's home? What more do you have to kind of get organized? Like, are there other like,
The
get her?
attic.
Oh, I was thinking more like, her schedule.
Yeah, actually,
for,
no,
and all
actually,
that
no,
stuff.
that's on, no, all kinds of interesting things happen now for her because she has her classification of how poorly she is. And so now taxis will come and take her to the chemo, and her health insurer will pay for it. And this fancy walker is being delivered tomorrow morning, and we're meeting a service, like an ambulatory, what they call it, like they come in, what's that called? Like an in-home caregiving service that'll come in a
Oh,
few
yeah.
times a week.
Home
So
health.
we're meeting like a home help type thing. So we're meeting them tomorrow. So yeah, those are
Mhm.
those are
Yeah, I was figuring you must be pretty busy just getting her settled with like her schedule, her this or that. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know if
Yeah.
a taxi cab driver will come up the stairs to help her if she can't get down?
Yeah.
That's good. That's really
Yeah, in
good.
fact, I met him because she has his number, and that's her favorite cab driver now.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah, and he was such a sweetheart. Introduced himself, said, "I'll be taking good care of your mom." Like, that's great. 'Cause we
Oh,
just
that's
know
really
Nice.
Good.
Yeah, no, it's that all of that is kind of oddly charming,
Mhm.
about how German society works. But
God,
I
I
would,
kinda
Oddly
wanna
charming.
go back and live in Germany. I popped out of the womb there. Maybe I should go back into the ground. No, you're like, no. It just seems so harsh now. I mean, everything that's happening in America, I mean, Peter's going through all of this with his mom, and I look at the level of care that's provided. I mean, it's different in Australia than from what you've told me in Germany, but I mean, it's still the socialized care package, and it just makes America seem so harsh
So
and
barbaric.
hostile. It
Oh,
really
God.
does.
Can I tell you? Oh my God! I opened up a bunch of mail of hers that had been arriving, and of course, a lot of it came from the big fancy university hospital that she was at. It's like the OHSU of Cologne, right?
Hmm.
And there's all these letters. I'm going, oh, I bet those are bills. Better start opening and see what the damage is, right? And so I start opening these bills, and it's really confusing, and all these different dates, because it turned out, I don't know if you recall, she was being passed on from one ward to the next inside the same hospital complex. Every time they treated it as a discharge and a new admittance. And so
Oh,
there's all these letters piling up, and then there's the reminder letters starting to come in for the treatment back in February, right? And meanwhile, it's May. So I called up the business office and said, I called up to basically say, can we just get this consolidated? This is really confusing. I'm trying to understand what the total number is. And then going through it, so that was all I wanted, was just like the one bill. And the woman on the line goes, oh, wait, no, these numbers aren't right. No, those are not. No, that should not, that's already adding up to 330 euros. That should be 280. And that's the maximum for the year.
What?
Yes, she spent 3 months in hospital. Her out-of-pocket expense is 280 euros.
That's, I mean, that just makes me kind of like crazy when I think about the amount of money that we are going to spend. And I mean, does that include her chemo treatment as well? Will that be now that she's discharged? And that's per year?
Yes, because every time she goes in, because of her situation, they're going to keep her as an inpatient while they administer chemo, and they're going to draw the chemo out over 2 or 3 days because she's getting 3 different drugs. She's already hit her max of 280, so from now on she doesn't pay anything for the remainder of the year.
Fuck, 280 euros, that's all?
One of my chemos was 30,000 one time.
I know.
Oh.
One time for one of them. I had 3 of them.
Hey, listen, like 280 euros. I mean, that doesn't even pay the anesthesia I got for my ankle.
That doesn't pay for
surgery.
the shoes that he bought, the anesthesiologist bought from Goodwill. I mean,
yeah, that's crazy.
Doesn't even.
Wow. It's so infuriating when I think about how, I mean, that America was supposed to be this shining light on the horizon post World War II. And now look, I mean, what a shit show. Pisses me off.
I've been
and it makes you scared to get older. I mean, do you really want to get older in America?
I've been binge watching Call the Midwife again.
Yeah.
And speaking of looking at medical care, and like that's even better than anything ever was here.
For sure.
Yeah, the NHS. Well, speaking of medical care, I have to go get my second COVID vaccine, so I
lucky
need to
you.
get going soon. Yes.
Okay.
I hope you don't have any plans tomorrow.
Yeah.
I have a light schedule tomorrow, and we'll see what I feel like. So I've told people I may have to cancel stuff.
Or maybe
Pfizer or Moderna?
Moderna.
Oh yeah.
You'll be fine.
Poop the second time around. Just plan on staying in bed all day.
That or not, and you'll be fine.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And yay.
Yay. Yeah. And mostly yay.